Hello, how are you?
Hi.
So, question: do you think how big of a deal do you think weight is when it comes to marriage in black men?
I think weight is very important.
I do too.
It's very important, and not just even for black men, just overall. Like your health is important, so you should want to be fit and in shape anyway.
Okay, if we're saying this now, where do you ladies say that to each other in public? Because what I hear more often is what I heard earlier, where women kind of are like not wanting to be offensive and co-signing and finding ways to kind of say, well, it can't happen.
Well, that's not a problem for me. I'm from down south, so we very blunt and direct. So if you big, you big. You got.
She's from Louisiana.
I'm not from there though. I'm from Memphis, so I'm saying I'm not from Louisiana. I'm from Memphis, so if I got an auntie, she big bone. She big bone. That's my
Ain't no
auntie.
big bone. That ain't no big
I
ass
mean,
bones. That's fat. See,
I
hold
We
mean,
on, hold
just
on,
keep
hold on, hold
yeah,
on,
making
hold on,
but
stop, stop, stop,
excuses.
stop,
We
stop.
make
Stop right there. Stop right
excuses.
there. See, we have softening words. Big bones. Have you ever seen an obese skeleton?
No,
The bones
never.
is the same size. Come on
I mean,
now.
yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm me myself. I can't speak for everybody, but I know me and my family, we very direct. I'm in the medical field, so if your BMI is over a certain, if
Oh, that's that
you
white
obese,
man's
you
test.
obese.
That's that white man's test. That's that white man.
Well, I know
I'm just
the
kidding.
white
I'm
man says,
kidding.
but it's in the medical field. When you go to for your physical, you have to, what's your normal rate? Like you say, when you ask people all the time, how tall are you? I'm 5'7" and I
But
weigh
you gotta,
200
but hold on,
pounds.
hold on, hold on. I know what I say, but you also see the heat I take for saying this.
That's because you're direct. My mother is very direct, so I'm used to someone being direct and telling me about myself. So that would
It's
not.
not, I appreciate it. It's not just because I'm direct.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's right. And it's going to require women to do something.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Most women today do not feel the man that they fit is worth changing for. Most women are 4, 5s, and 6s. That means below average to slightly above average. That means a man making anywhere from $38,000 to $46,000 a year. Most women think they deserve a man making 6 figures. So a man making that kind of money is not an incentive enough for a lot of women to do a damn thing, much less lose 65 pounds and keep it off. That's the truth. And maybe I'm wrong. What do you think, Louisiana at the top?
I do think weight is a big part. Uh, Over this past year and a half, I've lost about 45 pounds. About 25 more pounds, I will be under 200. But I've never once met a man that said that, was just upfront that he will not date a big woman. I lost weight because that's what made I feel better, more energy. I am happier. But
See,
I've
my
met.
issue with what you just said is women who get married do things for men. You're supposed to do things for us. We're supposed to be your reasons.
in a relationship, I think yes, but currently not in a relationship. So
How do you get to a relationship?
you said why?
How do you get, okay, see, men are told that we have to be providers, protectors. We got to go out here and become valuable before we can have a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, women have, so that precedes the relationship. The way you say it is, I do this for me. No, you're supposed to do it for a relationship as well, just like the man. Or you think women are supposed to just do it? Am I missing something here? Because men are supposed to go
No,
out
I'm,
and do stuff.
I'm not saying completely. I'm just not doing it for that. I guess my main primary reason for doing that at that time and now was for myself
Mhm.
for now.
Okay, but what's so wrong with saying that you did it for what's wrong with saying it the opposite way? I did it because I want to be more attractive to men, and it also makes me feel better.
There's nothing wrong with that. I guess I just never thought of it in that way.
I'll tell you what's wrong with it, because in the black community, you ain't supposed to do shit for us.
I don't think that.
Come on now. We were doing so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Kevin. You telling the truth.
Okay, I often ask women, have you met a man that makes you want to change? Have you met a man that makes you want to change drastically for?
I have.
Yeah.
And did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
The relationship got better for me.
What happened with your situation?
For me,
Attitude.
Huh?
yeah, say attitude. Me is very much attitude. That's my number one thing that's consistent with men that I talk to. That's the only
You
thing.
have an attitude?
I do.
And you said the problems with your attitude, man?
Yes, and more patience.
See, that's tonight's story. Tonight's live stream, I was going to talk about how modern women are so impatient. Y'all want instant success, and you leave just like this, because the relationship that you changed for, did you leave or did he leave? Down in the bottom. Did you leave or did he leave?
Me?
Memphis, yeah. Did you leave or did he leave?
I live.
Okay. Louisiana, did you leave or did he leave?
I left.
Thank you. So, two women who met men who they liked enough to change for, you left them. But the way we started our conversation, Louisiana, was that men ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. Men don't lead like y'all do. So my question is today, why are you guys so, why would you think women are impatient? Down in the right corner. Last, not you, below Louisiana. Next to you, next to Memphis. Come on, diagonal for me. I don't know your name.
Me?
Yeah, what state are you from?
I'm
What state are you
sorry.
from?
I'm from Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
All right.
Atlanta.
Georgia.
Okay.
Why are women today so impatient?
They just want everything to be there up front. They just want everything up front. And if it's not there, then they're just like
I
out.
know that, but why?
Why? I'm honestly not sure why. I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay, so Memphis, how does impatience and nurturing go together?
Well, I mean, when I think of nurture, I'm thinking of a baby. So, I mean, I feel like it's like caring for them.
How does impatience and nurturing match?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
They don't.
they opposite.
They don't. Okay. Louisiana, how does impatience and femininity match?
I really don't know. A lot of women are very impatient. We want
If a lot of women are impatient, can they also be feminine?
Yes.
No.
No.
No. Impatience and femininity are the opposites. Just like femininity is at odds, just like impatience is at odds with nurturing. Okay. So Georgia, how does impatience match with long-term relationship?
It doesn't.
Thank you. So you can't have a long-term relationship, you can't be nurturing and have a good family, and you're not feminine. Impatience, is that more of a childlike thing, or is it more of an adult behavior?
Childlike.
Ooh, y'all like to get cussed out by women? All right. So, question. So I'm gonna each of you ask a question. Louisiana, you got a question? Anything?
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Georgia, question.
No, not right now.
All right.
No, you answered
Memphis.
everything already.
Memphis, what you got?
My question is because I've been watching you for a little while as well, and I've seen where you said you had a segment about like growing up without fathers and whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like a lot of my issues with men also stem from my dad getting shot and killed when I was 1. So it's kind of like my dad died when I was 1, but I still had a stepfather who stepped in around the age of maybe like 3 or 4, and for him up until now. And he's married to my mom, but I feel like he's a dad more so of a father, if that makes sense. So
What's the question though? Make it simple.
my question is like, what advice do you give people who I guess have father issues and
Well, your father was killed when you were a baby.
yeah,
How old was your mother when she married your stepfather?
she's 40.
How old were you when how
So she's 46. I'm 26. So she married him when I was 18, 19.
oh, because he's only been around the last 8 years.
No, he's been around my whole life. Like since when my dad died, 2 to 3 years later, they were already together
So you've known him for how long?
all my life.
But you said he's more of a
He's more of a dad. Like he's there, but he's not there. Like, oh, my daughter is, if I was 16, 17, 18, and I'm out at past 11, 12 o'clock at night, where are you? Where are you? He's not like, let me sit down and tell you, this is
but
what I'm,
when your friends came over to your house, they met your daddy.
huh?
But if your friends came over to your house, they met your dad.
They would, but it wouldn't be more.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You were one of the few black children in the neighborhood with a father in the household.
Mm-hmm. A dad. I wouldn't say father, because I feel like it's two definitions.
Where do you get off judging this man?
Just over the way I was raised.
What do
And
you mean? He stepped in for a man who died and was a stepfather. Most children don't even have, listen, you're 20, how old?
26.
Okay. Young lady, you had a man to step in to raise you, pay for you like you were his biologically. And because he wasn't Bill Cosby, there's an issue?
I don't want him to be Bill Cosby, but I mean,
You want him to be what?
I just wanted him to be more like informative. Like when I go to my other friends' houses and their fathers,
That's not him.
outside.
Man. Are you what he wanted as a daughter?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Of course, I.
Exactly. Thank you. Hold on. See, my point is this. Who are you judging this man against?
I mean, I guess the error. If I didn't have my dad, I guess I could
You
only
don't know him.
what I see.
You don't know him. Who are you judging him against? What's the measuring stick you're measuring him against?
It's just I wanted like more. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
When I say more, I mean like talks, being in your life. You know what I'm saying? Coming to different things.
Uh-huh.
Giving advice. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, have a conversation. This is how you should be treated. This is.
Okay, stop. How many siblings do you have?
I have a little sister.
How old is she?
She's 18.
So this man has been in your life since you were a toddler.
Yes.
But he's not the kind of father you would want.
In a way. Yeah.
Okay. Did he work?
If you would consider, selling drugs and, maybe having a little job here and there, yeah.
So he didn't have a legal job
No.
your entire life.
No. He got fired from working at a factory for being a illegal drug user. Drug dealer. So
Did he go to jail?
no, he just got fired. But my thing was, you never picked up another trade, or you never picked up something else for your family.
Okay, so your mother worked.
Yes.
So was he a stay-at-home dad of sorts?
I would say stay at home if you were in the streets.
Did he raise you or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have respect for this man?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like you missed out by your not having your father there?
100%.
What has this man taught you?
I mean, stay out of trouble, you know.
Does he love you?
Yeah.
If somebody came through the house, will he stand in front and take a bullet for you?
I believe so.
Ma'am, I can't. I'm not gonna. I'm trying to be as delicate as I can, but
I mean, I can't get on.
I have an issue with so many black children don't have a father in the household, and your father was taken from you. Sad to hear that. But your mother picked this man, and I'm just going to take your story as being what it is. He's never been to jail. So he is not like, so all I know, I mean, I don't even know how you know all this stuff. His job history and work history and all that. But when you came home from school, your dad was around. Or was he gone for long periods of time?
He was around.
Okay.
He was in the house, but not in the house. I feel like he was physically there, but like not 100% mentally there.
Have you had any therapy?
No.
You need some.
I know.
Because what you're trying to do is make a man, first off, let's be real, he ain't your daddy. And the fact that he stepped in to try to do anything for you, you really should be grateful. Versus trying to, well, he's not what you wanted. He's better than nothing. And I'm trying to understand it. Would you rather have had nothing or him? Be honest.
Him, for sure.
Most kids don't even have that.
Yeah, you're right.
So you don't sound particularly grateful.
I mean, I know how it can sound, but I can't give you a full story. Like you said, I do.
I get it, and I'm trying to get you to give me a full story. What I'm trying to tell you that you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're all flawed as human beings. We do the best we can. This man didn't have to come in and be a father to you. And as long as he didn't do anything bad to you, he didn't go to jail. I mean, he may not have been the model father you wanted. He may not have earned the kind of money you wanted. But you said he's a father, but not a dad, but not a father. And I need you to understand how that sounds to children who had nothing. They're like, I would have rather had another human in the house. That's why I'm like, what are you judging him against? There's a standard out there. And are you judging him against what you think a father should be, and where'd that come from?
Yeah. What I think a father should be
Where'd you see that growing up?
In other households.
You didn't live in those households.
I did it, but
No, you visited those households, you lived there.
So when I visited, I seen.
You didn't know then. You don't know. Anybody can pretend. Yana, fix my life. Go ahead. I'm just saying, mothers ruin sons. I'm saying that you visited. That's what I'm saying. Or correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I visited other friends, family homes.
You visited other friends, like sleepovers?
Yeah.
Okay, young lady, anybody can pretend during a sleepover. That's like little black kids going to their white friend's house and they see their mommy and daddy in the house and they see they got real Coca-Cola, not generic soda. and this and that, and then they got matching pillowcases and matching sheets and this and that, and then you come to the house, look at your mama like, well, why do we have generic this? Why, Timmy and Mama, do you think how that makes them feel?
Yeah.
So there's this segment on Iyanla Fix My Life where this woman is sitting there calling her son, ain't saying he ain't no man because he didn't live up to the standard that she thinks. And Iyanla is like, well, where'd he learn that? Where'd he learn that from you? I'm like, I'm trying to understand where you got this picture of what a father should be. And where does your mother rank in this thing? So is your mother delinquent too?
No. She, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I can explain
Do you
it.
think you're judging your father? Do you think you're judging your stepfather fairly?
No, I guess not. When you break it down, when you asking me, I guess I just have a opinion that. But when you break it down like that, and you go, when you say you go to the house and you see Coca-Cola, and then we have generic bread at home, I can see what you're saying when you put it in that metaphor. So I can
8
see
out of 10 black children don't have a man in the household.
how much.
And 8 out of 10 children, 8 out of 10 black children are born to single parent households. Not only did you not have your biological father, you're one of the very few that had a stepfather that's been there your entire life and is still there. And you haven't told me what he does well. You're talking about what he needs to do better.
Mhm.
Did your mother and this man have any other children?
Not besides my little sister.
So does he treat your little sister different than he treats you?
I would say a little bit.
A little bit?
I feel like he probably didn't want to maybe overstep boundaries, but I feel like for her, it's since I'm older than her, I can see it, you know, because she's 18 and I'm 26 and I don't live with them. I go home and visit. So I can see, you know, where I feel like he's a little bit in her life, a little bit more.
Right. But when she's 8 years younger. So when she was 8 and you were 16, did you have a car at 16?
I had a 17.
17. Okay. Did he do anything for that car?
Did you mean like work on it?
Hmm?
Yeah,
So he never had a job. He never made any money.
legally.
I don't care legally. They don't ask if it's legal or not. Did he make money? Because what you're trying to basically say is your mama made all the money and he's a house dad and made nothing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just.
Okay, so he had money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you had a car at 17. Who bought that car?
From what I know, my mom.
Okay. Now, how you guys live in a house?
When I was younger or now?
Or when you were younger?
Yes, we lived in a home.
Were you living in a home by the time you graduated from high school?
What is it?
Were you living in a home by the time you graduated from high school?
Yes.
Okay. So
College
the
room.
home was in whose name?
My mom's.
So if he was making money illegally, everything had to be in her name.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your mom actually had a man in this house that would see? His money is there, but she's getting all the credit. But I'm about to blow your mind right now. At 17 years old, you got a car, right?
Yes.
He got a 9-year-old daughter in there. Every dollar he put in your mouth should have been in her mouth. Because that's his blood.
Yes.
So every single solitary dime he put into you, that's love. Because it should have been over with his blood.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I'm not bashing him. I'm just
Well, I didn't say you were bashing him. I'm just saying you're judging him against an unfair standard. Like, it's like, I don't wish this on him, but I have friends who died recently. If he died, you wouldn't be worried about this. You'd be remembering, oh my God, that's my daddy. That's the only daddy you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because he wasn't perfect, neither was your mama. Neither are you. I'm gonna ask you one real hard question. Real hard. Would you want your child to speak of you in this way?
On Instagram,
Period.
I feel like in different settings, I feel like if you want to be honest and you have a chance to break it down fully, yes, I feel like it's okay. But the way it may come off right now, no.
Well, sounds like he's a, I mean, I'm gonna take for the sake of argument that his money was made illegally. He stayed out of jail, he stayed under the radar, and he stayed in your life. That's a hell of a thing.
Yes.
And he provided for a daughter that ain't his, and he's still doing it.
Yes.
Be grateful that you have one. And your mother's not perfect. That's what I'm saying. Be grateful. And see, it's part of the problem today with, I'm gonna make it back to modern women. Part of the problem is y'all want everything. You're impatient. And it's like you want this, you want that. And if a stepfather, I'm gonna tell you how men are gonna hear this. Men are gonna hear, Jesus Christ, this man stepped into a young girl's life when her dad died. And listen to how she's talking about him on Instagram 25 years later. That's how men are gonna hear that. It's like, what the f***? Is there any honor in being a stepfather? That's how men are gonna hear that. He's taking money out of his child's mouth to put in yours, but for women who think of men, we have become so dehumanized in y'all's eyes. We're either utilities or something to be feared. And I'm like, I don't know if you really, I get where your heart is. You're like, well, I think it would be okay if I had a chance to flesh it out. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think your father would want to hear. I just think you're just being a little too hard on him. You should be happy and grateful for what you have. And that's what this time of year for, is to be grateful for what you have. I have a friend right now who's burying one of his best friends.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, that's what it is. This is the time of year to be grateful for what we have. I mean, that's the whole Christmas, the Jesus Christ in the manger. That's the whole story. You got a lot, young lady. You had a man.
But I don't have one now.
Your father.
Yeah, but I guess that stemmed from me just basically trying to get advice on, just because I never had sit down conversations. I guess in my mind, I am envisioning this perfect person, like you said,
Right.
which is not fair at all.
It's not fair. It's not. He can't live up to the man you never met. It's like, to not to overly minimize this, but Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have been in the news a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
And Jada was very public in having really loved Tupac. Will Smith lived a lot of his life angry at Tupac because Tupac died when he was young. The myth, the legend, people can only get greater. And every day Will's is alive, he can be a failure. He farts, he belches, he does not. Your father is human. You get to see all the things, and your father and your biological father is a picture. But the man who taught you how to ride a bike, the man who kissed your head at night, the man who gave you a thermometer and rubbed your head when you had a fever, the man who may not have been involved in your life as much as you like to, but he would kill for you. And I've known women like that who always want their fathers to be more in their lives, like some Disney movie or whatever. That's not what we do. We need to start judging. And this is the problem, because so many of our women have lost contact with who we are as men, that you don't even know how to appreciate us for our uniqueness. You want us to be more like women. We are not. We are men. We do things differently. We don't sit down and tell me your feelings. Let me look in your diary. Let's talk about all that. We show our love in different ways. Meaning, somebody comes barreling through the house, dad jumps up. He's not worried about DNA. He gets you and his daughter out of the house or protects you both. He doesn't say, well, I'm going to jump in front of my biological child instead of this child. Because to him, you're both the same.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one, young lady.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah.